We are doing a Cypher tips and trick for Split, the map Split on Valorant. This is generally how I play Cypher on Split. It works out really well. There's a lot of key and different hidden areas that you know otherwise would probably miss, or if you're new to Cypher and want to check out the different areas and see which spots work best for with traps and stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and run through this. We're gonna do first the offensive side or defensive side, and then go through the offensive side. Just go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and rotate to A first. And this is what I like to do at A. With A, I generally like to come up here, put the camera. You gotta jump, place that on there, and then you're good to go. And then this side you can see from A. This is a really good spot for the camera because you can see a bunch of different areas, watch tight corners and stuff. So A lobby. Generally, if you put the camera here, you see everyone rotating on this side, then you're good. Like, you know they're gonna come and push A. So this is a good camera. And then even when I rotate out, I like to watch it or leave it there because a lot of teams will play it slow and they'll just come around the corner, and then you have the camera here and you can see what's going on, you know what I mean, if they're going up ramps and stuff like that. So that's a good spot. Another spot I like, or one of the spots for the tripwires is here. So this corner right here, you're gonna want to look at this. Look at it, place it as high as you can so that way you can hit the knee. Otherwise they can jump. I mean, they can still jump over it, but a lot of people won't. Because what you're doing when you want to push to A is you want to just rush into A, right? You're not going to think about a tripwire. So generally, I'd say like 95% of people I get with this trap, it always trips them up. But then again, you're going to have somebody who's always careful and then looking out for traps and stuff like that because they know they have a Cypher on the other team. But this is a good
30
trap.
seconds left.
Another thing you can do is, if you want to do this really quick, because the round gives you like 30 seconds to start off with, so you're going to put the camera up there. But one thing, you can only place the camera up there as soon as the round starts, because there's a little wall there that you have to wait to open up. You can, after you put the camera there, you can come back down, put the tripwire, and then I like to put a tripwire over here too as well, just in case somebody is coming around the corner that I did not see. And then boom, you're good, and you can just watch, you know, back here. So you're good to go. So let's go ahead and do the mid rotation as well. This is how I usually do it. So I run around here, go through B side. It's easier. You can go through ropes, the rope room, which is this room right here. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't even try. So there are two spots I put my tripwire here, right? So I can put one up here, which is I generally do, or you can put one down here. You got to be careful with that one because they can literally jump over it. They can just jump over it, or you know, some people will just shoot it out and stuff like that. And then yeah, so this is what I do with the camera. With the camera, you got to be very fast about this because a lot of people, I mean, some people aren't catching on to this really, but then as the round goes on, you keep doing this over and over again, they'll start to notice. So I put the camera here. I try to put it there, and then you can see where people are coming in through the middle, right? You can watch B mid, which is really good for your team, because if nobody's going B mid from the other team, then that means they're hard pushing B, or they're just at A. And when you have the camera, I think some people miss this or don't even notice this, but you can hear footsteps with the camera as well. So like if they're rotating A, you can hear the footsteps, so you can hear them rotate around A. If they're rotating to B through by A, you can hear them walk around this way and then go to that direction. So for this, I like to leave my camera here because it's very useful. So when people are rotating back and if they're playing it very slow, the other team, you can literally just hold it off, and then you can hold off a position like B, this side, and then just watch to see if they're actually rotating back to A. So it's super useful, that spot. I like it. They'll shoot it out, but again, your camera recharges every 20 seconds, I think. If it gets destroyed every 25 seconds, if you take it back, it's 15 seconds.
10.
The two good spots for Cypher are A and mid. Your other team can hold B because there's only one spot you can enter from B, right? But for A, it's really tricky. So I like to put the camera on that sign that I did before. So like I said, tripwire again. And tripwire for Cypher is very risky on this part because when the enemy pushes up, or the other team, a lot of the times they'll cover this spot off. They'll throw, you know, nades or whatever, and then they'll destroy your tripwire. So sometimes if a team is really aggro, what I'll do quickly is as soon as that invisible gate comes down, I'll put the camera there, check it out who's there. They'll destroy it, whatever, that's fine. And then I'll put a tripwire back here and then hold top mid, B heaven, and then just see if they're coming from this direction. But a lot of the times, I mean, you can get a feel for what the team is doing. If they're playing it slow, your resources there are going to be fine, because toward mid-game or mid-match, like right now it's 50 seconds, 58 seconds, people aren't going to really go aggro at that point. They're just going to kind of lay back and then try to make new plans or whatever. It's generally in the beginning of the round where people are just, the other team is just very aggro and then just pushes no matter what, you know? But having your cameras there is a good spot. Another good spot, I should have taken this back. If I can show you. Another good spot's up here too, I like to put it. That way you can also watch vents, you know what I mean? Or sewers.
30 seconds.
It's really good. And then it kind of trips them up because they're like, oh wait, the camera's not here anymore. And then they don't know that it's there until they walk past it or you use it and they see it. So see, like right here, I like to put it there. You can still see a good area where everyone's going. You can see this little corner over here, which is fine, which is really good. And you can see everyone rotating out here, so this is good. So generally, those two spots are where I always place it with Cypher. Another good spot is up here too. If they're shooting it out right away, you find that in each spot, you can put it up there, or another spot is right here on top. I mean, listen, these spots are going to be exposed no matter what, so they're gonna shoot the camera. But the point of Cypher is, if you have a really aggressive team or really good, you know, a couple players on the other team that are really good, just to get information. That's all you're doing with Cypher. You're gathering information to see where people are going. You know what I mean? So if there's only 2 people rotating mid, then you know, hey, there's 3 other people that we have no idea where they are, and then whoever's guarding A or B can tell you where they are. So let's go ahead and rotate to B. So B, what I like to do is for the camera placement, I don't put it in obvious spots right here. I'll jump on this box and then I'll put it up here, right there, right on top of the whatever that the AC. And then this way I can cover every single area. And this spot, this is a little bit ahead, but this spot, I also put it up here for defending as well. It's really good. You can cover like every single entrance point. So it's really good. It's like sewers, you can see really well. They can't see you, but you can see them because you're high enough to where they can't see you. So you can see anyone from there, tag them up, and then this direction too. And if they're coming up from, if you're holding the bomb, or like if you're kind of playing it slow and camping a little bit, you can kind of see what's around you and see if anyone's pushing up from heaven. And then if they get tripped on a wire, you can just go ahead and tag them too. They're gonna be so confused, and then bump, 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 bump. But it's really good. As for tripwires on this one, it's kind of a hit or miss, right? There's really no good spot for a tripwire.
30 seconds left.
On this garbage can is pretty good, but you got to be careful and be very mindful that people can just jump over it, you know? But it's if they get tagged, they're going to be confused because they're not going to know where really to shoot. Another good spot, I mean, I'd just say generally here, you know? That kind of trips people up. Go a little bit lower.
10 seconds
but that's
left.
a really good spot. Another good spot that I put my camera in is just for shits and giggles, to like kind of confuse them or kind of take the enemy's you know, focus off of you for a second. Is put the camera there, look at it, shoot them with the camera, and then pop out with the sniper if you have an op or a marshal, which is really good tactic. But that's like pretty much it. Let's go through B again. So like I said, when I go through B, I'll just put the camera up here.
Yes.
This is a perfect spot. It kind of blends into with the environment, which is really good, and you can see everything too. We can rotate back out to A. I'm trying to figure out where another spot is. Well, I mean, B, the only spot to get into B is honestly garage, and if they can make their way up mid, if you can't cover that spot. Oh, another spot is too here. You can put. I like to put this here just in case they start rotating A, they can get tripped up on that. That gets a lot of people too. Ropes, I generally don't put any tripwires on ropes because sometimes the placement on it is going to be weird, and it just doesn't work out too well. And also, somebody's always covering ropes, and you can kind of hear when they go up and down of it if they're not walking. Oh, cages. So cages are weird. There's really no good spot to put a cage with Cypher. Generally, like if I'm watching mid, I'll just put a cage, throw a cage down there, hold this off, and then kind of work my way around. That way I can trip them up. You know, they're gonna think I'm still here when I'm actually here. Pop out, and if I have my tripwire right here, it's gonna grab somebody, trap somebody, boom, 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 and come out and shoot them. Okay, so this is gonna be the defending side. With Cypher, generally I like to push B because it's easier. But if we're gonna push A for the heck of it, if we're gonna push around towards A, if you have one trap because it's early game, or you might not even have any equipment, you know what I mean? Just your camera. If we're going to hard push A, or even gather a little intel on A and see what's going on. Now, as I did with the defending side, you put the camera up there. You can't put the camera up there from down here. Let me try it actually. Hold on, from back here. Maybe you can. You can put it up there. That's not a bad spot, actually. That's actually not a bad spot. That's a really good spot. Yeah, so I'd say, and I just found this out too, put it up there. I like to put it up here, but I didn't know about this spot, so put it up here is even better. Then you can gather the quickest intel here because you can see the ramps, and then also right here. See if anyone's holding that spot. I mean, first couple rounds, you're not really going to have much unless you spend on traps or whatever, but if you do have traps and stuff like that, I like to put a trap behind me if we're all pushing up like this. Because what you're going to find is that if you're all like trying to push in here, or, you know, and no one's going through sewers, no one's watching anything, somebody, I always find that 9 out of 10 times, one of their teammates on the opposing side is going to flank, right? They're going to walk their way here slowly but
30
surely.
seconds left.
And this way, you know, if somebody's coming behind you, boom, you know, you can catch them with the tripwire, or if they destroy it, you know. But if you're pushing up like this, do that. And then once you have the bomb covered, what I like to do is put, you know, the trap right here, and also take that second trap and put it right there. That way you can catch somebody.
10 seconds
Or
left.
if you have another, you know, if you don't put it up there, definitely put it right here, because everyone walks this little space when he goes in here. Or you put it somewhere right here, right? Alright, so I didn't get to the camera placement last round. So camera placement on this side of A. When you plant the bomb, I like to put the camera, I try to put it up here. It's a nice spot. Actually, shoot. I guess just right there, as quick as you can. You know, you can cover this side. You can also see who's in that part. What I find, though, generally is like a lot of people come this side. So watching this side is very, very critical, especially if you're the only person. So I just place the camera up there, look real quickly, and then just, you know, hold this spot as best as you can. Like I said, put a trap here. But like I said, camera placement up there is totally fine. It's a good spot. You can also take the camera back and then like put it in this corner. If you want to, if you're able to, tuck it in this corner right
30
here,
seconds left.
which is a really good spot. You tuck it in back here, put it in this corner, and this is a really, really good spot, because now all you can do is literally just tuck behind this spot
10
and then
seconds
see everything, every single point of entrance from this spot. Okay, let's go ahead and actually, so when we're pushing into B, there's two ways, right? You can go straight to B or go B mid. And for B mid is very nice. And then this is what I generally do with B mid. So I like to cover my ass, you know. If we're not pushing B and I'm flanking, I like to cover my ass on this part. Put trap there. Generally, you don't ever want to run in, because there's always going to be somebody right there, and there's always going to be somebody up here. And maybe if they get fast enough, they're going to creep in this corner. You know what I mean? So with Cypher, I like to push up. And this is a cool little spot too, because not many people see the camera here. But I like to put the camera there. And then, you know, you got a really good spot here. You can see. I don't necessarily know if you're covered. I mean, I guess you are. You can still see the camera and stuff, but it's a good spot. You know what I mean? Because you're I don't know if they can see you. I've rarely had people shoot my camera out of here. But I'm never shooting anyone really from here unless it's one person that's rotating. But you have a good spot. You have a good sight. You can't see what's in here, but you can kind of see what's in here. You know what I mean? If somebody like moves out, whatever. So if they're going that direction, if I don't see anyone, I'm clear. I'll move out, check the corners, peek the corners. Look at that. If I'm going to be pushing up, what I want to do is block this spot,
30 seconds
right?
left.
So I'm going to throw a cage there, push up like this, and then move in through here. There's always going to be somebody in this corner too, so you can also throw another cage down there, and then just walk in the cage and pop. You know? You're not going to notice. And that's a good spot. Another spot I like to do with the tripwire is put it on here. If somebody's rotating from A, you can catch them off guard there.
Left.
Or just, you know, put it in a direction right here. And then now when you're in B, you're good to go. Alright, so just to reiterate on this one, if we're pushing up B mid like that, I like to put a trap back there. When I run in, I like to put my camera on that beam right there, check the halls and stuff like that, and then boom. If you're if you're really antsy about the camera and want to place it somewhere else, you can just put it on this wall too. You know, that way you can actually check this corner, but you won't have any info on this corner, so you're blind at that point. But if B mid's okay and you covered it, I like to push in, throw a cage trap there just in case anyone's camping in that corner, and then run up this direction. Always check this corner, even though it's really deep. You got to be careful with that because a lot of people camp there. You don't know. I've gotten killed so many times. When you're rushing in like this, like I said, I put a tripwire this direction. Run in there, run up here, and then once you plant the bomb, what I like to do, same thing, man. Same thing. Put the camera in this direction, and then you can literally just camp here. You know what I mean? Watch your back on here since somebody's going to be on heaven. And if you do see somebody on heaven, you can tag them. And then you run up to them and then just shoot them because they're going to be distracted trying to take out the tracker. But other than that, you're good to go. If you do have an extra tripwire, I like to put one here. Because people do rotate from A and then try to flank around this direction. And if you have a tripwire there, it's a really good spot to know if they're actually there, you know, or catch them off guard. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and rotate into garage here. Garage is, I would only go that direction if you're pushing in with the team. So that way having cages is essential when you're pushing in with the team in garage. So when you're pushing in, right, there's maybe one person from the other team pushing in this direction. Bomb, 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 take them out. And if they don't push this direction, you're gonna want to be very, very, very careful. Sometimes I'll just, oh, that was really bad. Sometimes I'll put a camera right there and then try to see what's going on there. But generally when you're pushing in, if you take somebody out in this direction right here or whatever, you take them out, and you're pushing in, there's always going to be somebody in heaven, right? So I just like to throw a cage, walk through. Be sure, be very, very careful. If your cage doesn't cover this side, be careful because somebody in heaven is going to be sniping or looking at the little hole or the little slot that you left open. So if you're gonna have a cage, make sure it covers this end, and then if it doesn't cover this end, you're gonna want to run through it. But that's how I generally get in. And if you're planning,
no more charges left.
I would put a cage here, plant, or put a cage here and then plant. Having your bomb exposed in an area where you can get to fast and you can see the enemy if they're defusing it is critical. You know what I mean? If you can. If you can't, plant it behind here. That's fine. You can always shoot through the box if you're hiding. Like I said, if you're back here, you plant the bomb. Bada bing. That's fine. Putting it up there is totally fine. You can still see heaven. You can still see garage, and you can kind of see. I mean, you can. If you're hiding in this direction, you know, you can see everything.
10 seconds left.
You know, you can see where everyone is. So this is a really good spot. So that's what I like to do when I push in. If you have tripwires, like I said, put it here, and then put a tripwire here as well. Or up there, actually, would be even better. Just to reiterate, you're pushing up, boom, 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 you kill the one guy, boom, 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 you kill the next guy. Put your cage down, or run through the cage, put your cage down again, plant right here. Put your camera in this direction, boom, boom, you got a bunch of sights there. If there's nobody on heaven, what you want to do is slow walk to heaven. Get up there, if somebody there, boom, boom, boom. Put a tripwire there. Run back down here. Boom, boom, boom. Put a tripwire there. Now you got a good spot back here, right? You gotta be a little hidden right there. Then, if somebody's coming up, you can cover the bomb really, really well from here. You know what I mean? So, excuse me, that's what I like to do. It's a really good spot. And if somebody else is planting the bomb for you, you have enough time to do all that stuff in one shot. You know what I mean? Alright, yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys, for Split. It's not a big of a map, you know, but all the areas that I covered in terms of the offensive, the defenses are pretty standard, and there's some sneaky spots that I added in there too. Cage, like I said, cages are kind of hit or miss. There's really no good spots or no tricky or no, like, I don't know, pro spots yet that you can put the cages on that I've seen so far. Generally, if there's a high spot, you can put a cage up there and then see on the bottom of the cage, you see people's feet. But there's no spot on this map that you can do that with. So I'd say if you're going to be using cages, just rotate and be smart about it and use them, you know, as you go. That's what I like to do. And then when you're defending, you can place them down, but I generally just like to hold on to them and throw them as I go. I don't see any usefulness for throwing them down at that point. But other than that, man, you guys are good. If you like this content, we're gonna do more. We have another Heaven one. I did Cypher tips and tricks for Heaven. I'm gonna do Cypher tips and tricks for Bind. I haven't figured that one out quite yet, but once I do, I'm gonna put a YouTube video up on that one. So if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe and like to it, man. And we're gonna have some more video coming out for Valorant, dude. All right, guys, take it easy. Peace.